Howdy, I'm Olivia.
And I'm Julia.
And welcome back to the Hive, or if you're new, welcome. By clicking on this episode, you've entered our Hive, a space where we can geek out about movies, TV, you know. And we'll decide whether our topic of the week is a pop culture high or low. This is Hive's Opinions. So the last time that we had an episode, it was 2024, and now it's 2025.
Woo.
Crazy, which doesn't seem like a real year to me.
No.
No, it's like a made-up year.
It's like one of those years that they put in like sci-fi, like dystopian things.
Yeah. Which is funny because I'm sure that's always been the case. Like I'm sure like 2015 was like crazy to people. But we're back and we're changing things up a little bit, and there's also going to be some new fun, exciting things happening.
Woo!
But let's talk about, I guess, what we missed a little bit. Oh, by the way, this is an insert because we're going to be in different clothes, looking different. Once we shot an episode before our break, and it didn't go up in time. So now we're just doing an intro that is updated and an outro. We really like that episode, so we wanted to continue with it.
Yeah.
But this is just an insert. So it was an episode of the past of 2024 that you will be seeing.
Nostalgia already for 2024.
Yeah, while editing. Oh, remember when we did that in 2024? So the Golden Globes happened. Let's not get all that into it, but let's say some highlights. For some reason, Amelia Perez swept. That just happened. Listen, I've never seen the movie. But I didn't hear good things about it, so that's why I'm like interested in why did it sweep, and why will it probably sweep at the Oscars? It hurts to even say that because I've heard that it was wildly offensive. On multiple fronts, and then it's a bad musical. No idea it was a musical. But
oh, you didn't know that? Yeah,
I didn't know that until like a week ago.
Oh, really? Because I've seen the penis and vagina song clip.
I saw that like a week ago, so that's how I knew it was a musical. I am happy for Zoe Saldana. I do like Zoe Saldana. So, and I also heard that she was the best part of the movie.
Yeah.
So, she won. Zoe Saldana won at the Golden Globes. Her speech was so cute because she was crying the whole time. I love Zoe Saldana. And my boy won. Sebastian Stan, he won for A Different Man.
So good.
I cried.
Yeah.
I cried.
I'm sure.
No, literally I was so nervous. My dad had like made us like a big like a meal or whatever, because like when he likes to cook, so he made us like a dinner, and like it was one of the last nights I was gonna be there, and we were all eating, and I was like picking at my food because I was so nervous, because I mean I knew that if he was gonna win, it was gonna be for that category. So I was like, this is our chance. It needs to be this one or nothing. So yeah, I don't know. I was like not eating them. My dad was like, do you not like the food? I was like, I literally can't even think about the food. I'm so nervous right now. I like had like head in my hands, like nervous while they were, announcing all of the nominees. And when his name got called, I was just like, crying, and like my mom was crying because she was happy for me. It's so dramatic. It's so dramatic because like I had people from high school message me. I did. And I was like, embarrassing that like I'm known for that. It's so embarrassing. I was like the Marvel and One Direction girl in high school, and they knew that.
This, yeah. What's the story where like every time there was a new episode of Walking Dead and someone died, people would like say, "I'm sorry for your loss to
Yes,
you."
people would say that to me. Yes. I was also the Walking Dead girl in, in high school. But yeah, like when Liam died, I got people from high school message me and like this is the same thing. Sebastian won and I got people like as if I won. Like that's how they were
Yeah.
messaging me. They were messaging me like I'm happy for you. And I'm like, thanks. I didn't win. I didn't do anything. Um, but I'm just a big old fan. So
Yeah. And it also like speaking of him winning, like his speech was really good. Like
yes,
yeah,
yeah, it was so good.
it was so good cuz before that Demi Moore won for The Substance and she
Yes,
gave a really good speech. And then I believe it was Kerry Washington who was like whoever has to like follow that speech like has to like do it like it's going to be hard. And then Sebastian also made a really good
yeah, they
speech.
both made really, really good speeches. Yeah, it was a
Mm.
heightened emotions for me kind of night. And now people are nervous with him with the Oscars because they were like, if he does get considered during voting, then the votes might be split and he might not get one at all since he's in for A Different Man and for The Apprentice. So if the
Mhm.
votes are split between those movies, he may not get in at all. And people are like, there's a lot of people online who are like, there's a high likelihood of that happening. I'm like, no. But I'm just happy that he got a Golden Globe.
Mhm.
Yeah, because in my opinion, been a long time coming. Um,
Yes, that's
I
the
Tanya,
covenant.
this is for you. I Tanya.
Oh my god, I just remembered he was in
Oh
I
yeah.
forgot
It
he
was
was in
so
that. He
and
was
he
so
was
good
so
in
good.
that.
It's one of my favorite movies.
It's I Tanya's great.
It's so good. Margot Robbie, we will also redeem you.
We will.
What else happened at the Golden Globes?
I don't what else
Just
did
the things that
happen?
are important to us.
I mean, like for me, like Hacks won a lot, and I'm a
Oh
big
yeah.
Hacks fan.
Yep. Oh,
Yeah,
Shogun like swept.
swept.
That was crazy.
Good for
Yeah.
Shogun. I
Yeah, I
didn't.
haven't
Yeah.
watched and I started it and then I think I just got really busy because I did like it. I started it, I just never finished it. So I guess I'll
Hmm.
have to get back into that. Obviously, whoever the woman was who won is one of the most beautiful people I have ever seen in my life. I was
She's so
stunned.
pretty.
I saw her on the red carpet while I was like watching before, and she did an interview, and I was like, oh my gosh. I turned to my mom. I was like, that is the most beautiful person I've ever seen. uh, so I guess I have to watch Shogun,
Yeah.
which I'm not upset about at all. And that sounded like I was like being forced. I guess I have to. No,
You
no,
have to watch.
I'm excited to. But I have to. I guess I'll have to find time to do that though.
Hmm.
Anora didn't win anything,
I know. I
which
was
people
surprised
thought
about
it
that.
would, which doesn't give me high hopes for the Oscars. I watched it. I liked it a lot. I didn't like it as much as I thought I was going to.
I've heard that from some people.
Yeah, because before, like, we were hearing, like, it's amazing. It's, like, one of the best movies ever. And then I watched it. I was like, yeah, it's really good. Yeah, it's good.
It's good.
It is very good. And I think that, like, nominations are warranted. I'm not sure if wins are warranted, but it's a good movie.
Hmm.
Not Golden Globes, but just movies that I've seen since the break. Nosferatu, I watched on Christmas Eve. Very good. Um, Bill Skarsgård, gosh,
I cannot wait to watch that movie for him because, like,
it's insane. There
he
is exactly one shot in the movie that I can think of where he looks like Bill Skarsgård. Every other
like
shot, I'm like, this is a different man. No pun intended. um,
yeah, I'm
yeah,
excited. I'm excited to see him do that.
Yeah, it's wild. The mustache is pretty crazy. Um,
I didn't even know
the
he had
mustache
a
is
mustache.
nuts. Oh yeah, it's a big, thick mustache.
Like
It's
a pin
crazy,
twirling kind
and
of.
it's funny because like he's besides like here and like he has like a weird tuft of hair that like flips over the side, and besides those he's like utterly hairless, so it's so funny that it's just like a big mustache and then like a
A
tiny
comb
like
over.
tuft of hair that like falls over. It's so funny. Lily Rose Depp, the actress you are, that
Yeah,
was nuts.
I was like, good for her, you know,
Oh, she deserves it after she had to go through.
with the idol.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
deserves it after that. Um, yeah, she was so good. There were like many times where I was like, "Oh my gosh, is she okay? Is she okay?" Um, what else did I watch? What did you watch before?
Oh, well, for television shows, I did watch season 1 of Yellow Jackets finally. We started it
Yes.
back when we were in LA together, and then I was
Yeah.
like, "You know what? Got to finish it, at least season 1."
Right,
And
because
then
season 3 is coming
and season
soon.
2 is not on Netflix, so I have to find other
I
ways to
know.
watch it. But
I know.
you know, as a huge Lost fan, I love it so
Yeah.
much.
Yes.
It's like
Yes.
it's just so good. All of them are so flawed, and I love it in shows when everyone is just
Yeah, yeah,
flawed.
yeah. Lottie Matthews, my favorite character. Um,
Oh no.
she is my favorite, and it is solidified in season 2 that she is my favorite. She's
Yeah.
nuts, and I love her.
Mhm. Mhm.
um, yeah, I watched Yellow Jackets like a month or two after it came out, the first season, and I was in college and I was watching it in my dorm room, and I was like, "This is insane." Other things I watched in my dorm room: Squid Game. Season 1 of Squid Game I watched in my dorm room, and season 2 came out. Yeah, it's good. I mean, it's Squid Game, it's good.
Yeah.
Like
For
it's
one.
hard for me to like talk about Squid Game in like a negative way. It's just so good. I was wondering how they were going to do season 2, but like Squid Game is one of those things where I just like trusted them to do the right thing, and I feel like they did do the right thing, where they spent a bit of time outside of the games before going back in, and that was smart because we had to catch up with some things from season 1 that were left. You haven't watched Squid Games. We need
No.
to remedy that.
I will at some point.
It's so good. Like season 1, like season 2 is not as good as season 1, but like season 1 is like a perfect show. Like
Yeah.
it's so good. Um and it's so like emotionally charged because you care about like almost everyone. But you know they're gonna die. So it's
Yeah, cuz
like
only one person can win. So,
right. And they've also done a smart thing where they changed the games up
oh, that's good.
in season 2, so they're not the same thing. Red light, green light's the same, which is smart.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah, cuz that was very popular after
yeah, and
the show
also
came.
in show it's smart because that is when a majority of your players get out.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was also smart in game that they probably always do red light, green light first. But I knew they'd switch them up. Like people were like, I wonder if they're going to switch the games up, and it's like, well, yeah, because in season 1, the VIPs are the people who like bet. They like say like, well, what is this at like the bridge glass game that I don't know if you know what that is, but there's a game or I'm not gonna say it because you'll watch it, but the bridge glass game, they're like saying like, what is this game, what is this, it looks like a bridge. So like obviously they didn't know what that was, so obviously like every single year they
It's going to be
switch up the
different.
games. uh yeah, it's just, yeah, I just love that show. I and I just remember like, well, I'm also happy because I love Gong Yu, who is an actor in Squid Game. And he is the dad in Train to Busan, and Train to Busan hurts me
Oh
deeply.
no.
um, and I also have seen him in other things. He's in a lot of like romantic K dramas. So I've seen him in like that stuff. But he played in Squid Game somebody that I'm like, this is something different than I have ever seen him do, and he needs to do this more. Like, you know, when like somebody plays like a villain all of a sudden, and you're like,
Mhm.
why aren't they doing this all the time? That was him. Absolutely crazy. Like that first episode would not have been as good as it was if he wasn't just absolutely unhinged, crazy psychopath. Like, um, and I don't think Squid Game knows this, but the second he was a little crazy, like the second I like saw him like just slight. I mean, in season one he kind of was because we don't see him much. I was actually shocked because I was like, he's a big star, and he's in like the first and the last episode of Squid Game season one for like 5 minutes, like in total. And then season two, the whole first episode. But I was like, I just I don't like, but like the second like he was just slightly unhinged and like crazy, I was like, oh, the girlies are gonna love him.
You
Like,
already knew the
he,
edits were coming.
oh yeah, and I saved them all. He is like, listen, in real life, big red flag, huge, awful, just a terrible person, completely unhinged, awful man. But
He's fictional.
however, he's fictional, and also he's played by Gong Yu. So it just so that scrubs everything away. But no, it was good. It was good. I watched.
Huh.
Oh my gosh, I went to Wicked sing along.
Oh, and how was that?
Yeah, it would have been better if we were in a packed theater. It was like my family and then like a couple in front of us, and that was it. But we were all singing. It was great. It was fun.
That
It
sounds
was really
great.
fun. Yeah, I want to do it again, but like in a packed theater. But I think they
Yeah.
stopped doing the
Aw.
sing-alongs. I think it was just for like a Christmas like sort of thing.
Yeah. Well,
Mm.
speaking of Wicked, they did, I think, over while we were on a break, they announced that they renamed the movie Wicked for Good for the second part.
Yes.
And then it also came out that they have two new songs for the second part, and I think it's been revealed that one of them is written by Ariana Grande, and the other one is written by Cynthia Erivo with the original composer. So that's gonna be fun.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I don't know if Cynthia Erivo has that I know of has written.
Yeah, I know
Ariana
that.
Grande is a very good songwriter though.
Mhm.
So, but yeah, I don't know, but like I don't. It's not like I don't have faith or anything.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
whatever it is, it's gonna sound good.
It's gonna sound good. And also the thing is, I think she Ariana Grande came out and said like it's for like a character moment or like progression for Glinda that isn't seen on screen or on the stage production. So
Okay,
to give it a song, I'm like, okay, that's good. Cynthia, we have
fun.
no clue.
Yeah,
And
that's
that
crazy.
kind of scares me.
Yeah, that's crazy. Also, this movie has to be 5 hours long if they're adding stuff.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm not one of those people who's like, I hate long movies, but my attention span is real low. TikTok has ruined my brain. So, and I already had it. It was already ruined because ADHD is just riddled up here. So, the I don't know if my attention span can do it.
Yeah,
But
they
we'll
just got to
see.
start doing intermissions in theaters. Just do like a 15-minute intermission.
Yeah.
I literally cuz my when the Brutalist won for Golden Globes, my dad was complaining about the length, and I was like, "Okay, you can take an intermission if you want to, like for that.
How long
So,
is that?
Brutalist, I think, is like 3 hours and 45 minutes, I think.
Good Lord.
Wait.
I haven't watched that movie, but somebody's going to have to bring me to a theater to watch it because I have to watch that movie over the course of like 3 days.
Yeah, and I think
myself.
that's fine. I think sometimes people need to like I was talking to a friend about this, but like I think it's good to take intermission breaks or like take breaks of watching films because like sometimes that can affect your movie watching, and if you really want to watch a movie, like just take the time to. But it also depends if
I
it's
do that
in
a
theaters
lot.
or not. Yeah.
I think I watched Nora over 2 days, and it's not even a long movie. I just sometimes if I'm not in a movie theater, then because I get so distracted easily, I'm gonna be thinking about doing other things, and then when I find myself getting too distracted, I'm like, I'm gonna have to pause and resume this later,
Yeah.
which is definitely a my brain thing. Like, I don't think it's like a good thing, but it's just what I have to do sometimes.
Yeah. I checked it up. The Brutalist is 3 hours and 35 minutes.
Oh gosh. Like I said, I don't dislike long movies. Will I ever rewatch it? That's slim.
No.
But the first time that I watch it, I'm probably gonna like it a lot. Everybody seems to like it. I'm probably gonna like it a lot. It's just I'm gonna have to like it over the course of a couple days.
Yeah. You just got to do like a Brutalist binge where you just every day watch an hour of it.
Yes, like a TV show.
Yes.
Yeah,
exactly.
we can cut it up. Like, I don't know if you've ever if you remember this Reddit story on Smosh, but the one where the the one where the boyfriend like cut Back to the Future
as a TV show.
As episodes, yeah, for his girlfriend who doesn't like movies. Yeah, they'll have to do that for me, but for
the Brutalist.
The Brutalist, and I want credits, and I want an opening sequence. I also think that with long movies, sometimes I'm like, this could have been a mini series.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, I'm trying to think of like long, quote unquote long movies that I think could work as a mini series.
You know what's opposite? Moon Knight. I think they're flipping back and forth between either making it a season 2 or they were making it a movie. I think it would be smarter to make it a movie.
That makes a lot of sense from what I know of the reception of Moon Knight.
Yeah. I also, because I know a lot of Marvel fans who like dropped off with the TV shows. And it was around Moon Knight. And I'm like, Moon Knight seems to be, they're gearing up for big stuff for Moon Knight because Midnight Suns and everything. So, and I'm like, there are people who are not going to know much about Moon Knight unless you put it in movie format and don't introduce him in a group setting. That would be awful. Oh my gosh, to introduce Moon Knight in a group setting, crazy. I mean, not introduce because obviously the show would introduce him, but like introduce to the audience that only goes to the movies. Oh my gosh. Speaking of, Captain America comes out soon, and Thunderbolts.
Thunderbolts.
I know. I'm
so real.
I'm nervous, but it's gonna be okay. I think
we're gonna survive. It's gonna be you're gonna
survive.
You're gonna
the
survive.
Bear and the Beef writers are on it, so we're on it. They wrote it, so that's good. What else did we say we were gonna talk about? Was that it?
I think that was it.
If that was it, then enjoy the meat of the episode with us from a different day.
Yes,
and we'll see you at the end.
Woo! Time travel.
Woo! We're doing a thing today that we've been excited about because I feel like this is going to be like a series.
Yay.
Sort of. Yeah, a game. We did a game last week. We're doing
a game this week. Every time we do a game, it's the best fun.
Yes.
It's always fun.
It is fun.
Okay. So I got this idea from Olivia because we've joked about, because I haven't seen Glee or Pretty Little Liars. And she's like, oh, I'm going to randomly ask you storylines and see if they're real or not. And I was like, okay, but I beat you to it. So I've decided to do one of H2O, Just Dead Water. Was this a storyline in H2O, Just Dead Water?
Yes,
Olivia,
because
can
I
you let
haven't.
yeah, can you let the
Yeah.
audience know what your knowledge of H2O, Just Dead Water is?
Yeah. Um, Not much. I know that I know the main characters, and I know that on I think it was Teen Nick. So on Teen Nick, I would watch Ned's Declassified and Drake and Josh and Keenan and Kel, and when those shows went off, this show would come on, and I would sit through the title while I was scrolling to turn to another channel. So that's all I know about this. Just
I was
because I
like
just wasn't very interested.
I was
Um,
like relatable, relatable, and then you were like, and then I turned the channel off, and I was like, not relatable.
Yeah, I just wasn't very interested in seeing stuff that like didn't make me nostalgic on Teen Nick, and I
No,
had
that's
already seen the
understandable.
other stuff like on Nickelodeon. So I was like, "Oh, well, this is something I don't know." Turning
Yeah,
off. But that's all I know, and I know mermaids.
yeah, that's it.
Oh, and I know the islands that they go to.
Mako Island,
I
yeah,
know I know the pilot pretty much.
yeah,
That's it.
yeah. The pilot is like a good pilot because it introduces everything, but then it doesn't go into the hijinks of what this show becomes.
Yeah. That's all I know.
Hmm.
Because I feel like this is like a big pop culture thing that I just like wasn't a part of. I
It's okay.
I, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know like how I missed it. I guess it wasn't like a US
Yeah, no.
show, so like I was watching Teen Nick for nostalgia, and this
Yeah.
wasn't gonna give me that.
Yeah,
So
it's so weird the popularity of H2O because when I was little, no one watched it. Like when it was coming out on TNIC, no one watched it. And then when I grew up, and then also for you all that don't know this, the oh no, Cleo, the condensation, that whole thing from TikTok is from H2O. And I think
yeah,
it got a little more out there.
clear.
Clear. The condensation. But for those who don't know the plot of H2O, I have an introduction. So H2O, Just Add Water, is like Olivia said, not American. It's actually Australian, and it was a three season show created by Jonathan M. Schiff Productions, and the show revolves around three teenage girls facing everyday teen problems with an added twist. They're mermaids, and each of them have their own supernatural power related to water. So I have for Olivia and for those listening and watching, I have the set kind of characters that I will use during this storyline because there's some weird casting changes in H2O. So the first one is Cleo, Emma, Ricky, and then they're the main trio for majority of the show. They're the ones that are in the pilot.
Mhm.
But during season at the beginning of season 3, it's introduced that Emma is visiting and traveling with her family, so she's gone from the show. So they have Bella come in and essentially replace Emma. So if you hear a storyline and Bella is mentioned, that's definitely going to be season 3. And then anything before that is with Emma is probably going to be 1 and 2. I forget why the actress left, but I do know that the actress that plays Cleo and the actress that plays Emma were on the original Vampire Diaries shows together. So
That's what I was gonna say. I
I
think I didn't watch Vampire Diaries, but I had a friend who was really, really
did.
into Vampire Diaries, and every time there was an episode, she would come to school and sit next to me and tell me about it as if I knew what was going on. And then she told me so much that eventually I was just like, well, here's my Vampire Diaries update. I guess I'll know what these people are doing now. So so yeah. Huh.
Mm-hmm. So those are the main players. The others, these are all their love interest or reoccurring boy characters.
I
Um,
recognize two of these.
yeah, I think you'll reckon. Do you recognize Will? Okay,
No.
okay.
It's the
I thought he was in a Marvel show, so that's why. I
oh,
thought.
maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh.
But
Maybe he is. I don't know. When they look young, it confuses me. When people look young, I'm always like, they
who's
were
that?
in that. It's Lewis and Zane
Yeah,
are the two that
the
that come. I guess like if I had it on and I just wasn't paying attention or
and
whatever,
they're
then I
also
saw them.
majority in the pilot. So
Got
essentially,
it.
yeah. So Zane is is low key the reason why they become mermaids. That he's the catalyst if you think about it. So Lewis throughout the show has an on and off relationship with Cleo.
Clear.
Clear. Zane is Ricky's love interest. They have kind of a rocky end to their relationship, which we'll get into. Byron is Emma's love interest in the first season. Everyone hates him who I've talked to that likes the show because he's so plain and dull. He has
Who?
nothing to
Which
his
one?
character. Byron, he's the one with
Byron.
like, yeah, literally he
Byron Montgomery. Sorry, Pretty Little Liars. That's Pretty Little Liars.
no, that's so good. And then Will is introduced in season 3 to be the love interest for Bella. And then
Okay.
Ash is Emma's love interest in season 2. But obviously, since Emma leaves at the end of season, like in the beginning of season 3, he's never seen again. And then Nate we'll get into. He's a character that is just there to be Zane's sidekick and like harass everyone on the show. No one likes him. So,
Okay.
yeah. I just wanted to introduce those characters so that when you're reading the storylines where I am, you can be like, does this fit?
Oh, you're right about Will.
He's in Marvel, right? I forget
I think
what.
he's in Agents of Shield.
Okay. Yeah, because
Maybe.
I remember him posting about Agents of I seeing something of Agents of Shield, and I was like, "That's a guy from H2O."
I'm sorry if I'm wrong, guys. He's in something,
He's
I
in
think.
something.
I did watch Agents of Shield, so that's embarrassing if I didn't get that.
No, I think from what I remember, I think he was later on or something. I don't know. I didn't even watch Agents of Shield. I just watched.
I watched it, and then it became one of those shows that I was like, "Well, I'm already here, so I have to finish."
Yeah, might as well.
I really wasn't paying attention at some point, and I just had it on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Okay.
continue. Sorry.
No, you're good. We're gonna go to the first statement.
Oh,
So the first storyline. Well, not the first storyline, that's the pilot, but like the first storyline of our game. So while
did I just
out,
have to say like true or false?
yeah, like
Okay.
yeah. So while out swimming, Emma cuts herself on a piece of coral that she gives to Cleo for her fish tank. As Hector, Cleo's goldfish, scales turn white and constantly eating seafood, Lewis discovers that the coral is toxic, infecting Hector and Emma. Emma gets loose in the marine park as the gang searches for an antidote. Emma and Hector end up getting cured.
Okay. What
You can ask questions. You're allowed to.
Yeah, I mean, if this isn't a plot line, then you're gonna have to come up with an answer on the spot.
Hey, you
if
know,
I ask a question.
I've watched H2O too many times. I think even if it's fake, I can come up with like a reasonable response.
Okay, because I was gonna ask something where I'm like, well, if they tell me, then I'm gonna know that it's true. Where was Emma cut?
So it's on her hand. So she's swimming
Okay.
and she's getting coral for like Cleo's fish tank, and she cuts herself on the coral.
Why is Emma doing that? Or
I don't know. I guess she wants.
Clear's fish.
I think it's like oh, I was out swimming and I saw this cool piece of coral. Put it in your fish tank.
Okay. Oh, okay. So she wasn't like swimming with the intention of getting the coral. She was just out swimming and saw it.
Yeah.
Okay. I think this is true. I think that this is a real.
Okay, that's your final answer.
Yeah, I'm locking in true.
You're locking in true. It is true. So it is season. Why does it say season 3? That is not true.
Okay.
It's season 2. Hold on. Sorry.
This definitely seems like a plot line that would happen in like a kid show about magic, which is why I was like, yeah, because there's always an episode where it's like, someone came down with a magic affliction and we have to get an antidote. It's
oh my god,
that.
that's like I think in every season of H2O there's at least something with that. Like every season there's something going wrong, and also especially with their moon power stuff. So the other parts of this episode that I think are important but funny, Emma scares a small child as a sea monster, so she gets loose in the marine park and she scares like a small child. It's kind of funny.
Liza
And
Sue all over again.
it is literally low key true. They got the director from The Substance got that idea from H2O Just Add Water. Also, it's so weird, but like when I was doing research for this,
She could have died.
she could have died. They said, yeah, if she doesn't get like the antidote, she dies. And I was like, what the hell?
As like a kid's like show plotline, she could have died.
Yeah, no.
Guys, the stakes are death.
And then
9-year-olds, the stakes are death.
And then also, in addition, she becomes obsessed with eating fish and lobster. And essentially, like her parents are having their anniversary and they ordered all like seafood, and then she eats all of it because of this. So does that mean she's becoming a cannibal?
Can they do that normally? Like, is it?
Yeah, I think they can.
Cannibalism if it's like they're eating other sea creatures.
But then if she's eating all the fish food and stuff, what about Hector? Did Hector, like Cleo's fish, eat all the fish? Or like,
oh yeah, that would have been too dark. They probably had that in there, so we gotta scratch that out.
But I don't think they ever mention that it's cannibalism for them.
Okay, because they live near the ocean. Yes. I would think it's hard to be like, sorry, I don't eat shellfish. Yeah, it's one of them.
Yeah, it's also very hard because Cleo's dad is a fisherman. Like, okay. So he does that stuff. And also Lewis fishes. So.
Well, clear. Okay.
Next one. Okay. When Cleo's sister demands an expensive holiday, Cleo's father gets a second job doing a pirate show at the marine park so that he can afford it. Cleo's father's show becomes more popular than her dolphin shows, threatening her job at the marine park.
Is this like a play, like a pirate play thing?
Yeah. Or like, so it's like, you know, when you go to like a theme park and like there's like a show going on and it's like interactive and stuff like that. It's like that. And then I hate to say that I've been to SeaWorld, but I've been to SeaWorld, and when they do a dolphin show, that's like what Cleo does.
Okay. I've never been to SeaWorld because I'm scared of the ocean.
That's understandable.
We're like, oh, she probably won't like this, and they were right. Maybe that's why I wasn't into the show, because it was like a deep-rooted fear of the ocean I have.
Hey, that's understandable.
It's so scary.
Yeah.
So scary. I don't like it. I think this is true. I think this is true.
Okay.
Pirate show is interesting, and I hope it's true because I would love to see whatever the hell a pirate show is.
You are
and
right.
if it's not true, then we need to put on a pirate show.
It is true.
Yes.
So that's Cleo's dad in a pirate suit.
Oh my
and then at the end of the episode, she decides for her show to be popular. Also, she dresses up as a pirate. And it's
great.
I don't watch this episode too much because, as I put in the other parts of the episode, this is the last episode before the 2-part finale of the entire show.
They always do that in kid shows where it's like they give the most nonsensical like penultimate episode before they give us like a 2-part finale, and it's like, okay, cool, just hit us in the face with that.
And like the 2 seasons before for H2O, like they've done a good job with those because like there's at least constant build up and storylines that work with it. This one's just like, yeah, we're going to take a break from solving the mysteries of Mako just for Cleo and her dad to fight it out for a job. Like, why?
Filler.
Mm-hmm.
And they probably just didn't know where to stick this episode.
Yeah. Or like it was a whole thing where they like filmed it and they didn't, like you said, they didn't know where to put it.
Where to stick it, yeah.
Okay, next one. Okay, a famous band comes into town to perform at the marine park. Due to Cleo's job, she gets a free backstage pass. Ricky is hired, but is bad at her job, and it's backfiring on Cleo. After an argument between the two, Ricky quits. After Emma talks to both of them, Ricky and Cleo apologize to each other, and one of Cleo's co-workers gives Ricky her own backstage pass.
Is this band a real life band or a fake band?
It's a fake band.
No, I don't think this is real.
You don't think it is real? Final answer.
Yeah, I'm locking in.
Yeah, it's fake. They do have a lot of bands though in this show. Like season 3, like it's weird.
I figured, I don't know if you did this, you can tell me if you didn't. I figured that you took this from a different show because it is pretty detailed.
No, this one
Pretty detailed storyline.
This one was not from a different show.
Okay.
I just can't. You know, when you watch H2O for so many years, you kind of get like you could just write a.
Yeah, I have a couple shows that's definitely like that for me. Pretty Little Liars being one of them.
Yeah.
That one is.
You could. It'd be so funny for each of us to write like a script for a show that we both like.
There are these two. Oh my gosh, what are their names? They're the people who wrote the Smosh sitcom Live.
They do the fan fiction?
Yeah, they do the fan fiction. Yeah. And I was like, it would be like that.
It would be so much like that.
Okay.
Next episode. It's Ricky's birthday, and the gang plans a surprise party for her. However, after uncovering counterfeit cash from a sale at the cafe and confronting the man who paid for it, she's held hostage on the boat.
Okay. Counterfeit cash in a kid's show. Interesting. No. Well, I don't know. You did hit me with the she could die before. And now that has me thinking.
Yeah, Emma dies from a special quarrel and Ricky dies from being held hostage.
Held hostage on a boat. Yeah, okay. Yeah. What the hell? Let's go with yes.
Okay, final answer?
Locking in yes. If it's
yes,
not,
it is.
Oh my gosh!
Crime and Punishment, episode 12 of season 3. They
duct taped her mouth?
Yeah, and there's one part where she tries to call Cleo and Bella, and she's like texting them like, help. And they're like, maybe she found out about our surprise party. And they call her back. They call her back, and then the people that held her hostage like hear it, and they throw her phone out into the sea because they.
Oh my gosh!
The other parts of this episode are wild. So Will, at this point in time in the series, he only knows Bella is a mermaid. He only knows she's a mermaid. She lied to him when he asked her, "Is anyone else a mermaid?" She was like, "No," and she's been kind of keeping her distance with him. So Will knows where the boat is that kidnapped Ricky because he delivered the food and then got the money. So he essentially blackmails Bella and Cleo that he'll only tell them where the boat is if she tells them everything he knows about mermaids. So that is the way that Will finds out Ricky and Cleo are also mermaids.
What the hell, Will?
Yeah, it's insane. And then
she's kidnapped, could die. Will's like, wait a minute though, I need to know all about this mermaid stuff.
Exactly.
I'll let her die.
Yeah, Will's a character that probably I like just because I think the actor was kind of hot. Because the character himself is just not a great
just
guy.
Trash, just dirt.
Yeah, like he essentially tricks Bella into like staying, and he pours water on her to expose her secret.
Oh my god!
And then also in addition, for like the 2 episodes that they're kind of like together before they officially get together, he only likes her because she's a mermaid, and then he realizes like, oh, I actually like you for more than that, and she's like, well, sucks for you. So after this episode, that's when they finally like get together and actually start having a relationship. But it's so weird.
Is this show one of those shows where the men are all just like trash. They're all just like awful except for like a couple.
It's only, I will say, only Lewis and Ash are like genuinely like I would like. Lewis is really good because Lewis is like the friend that like knows for like from episode 2. So he's like
Okay.
their friend turned Cleo's love interest. So like
Okay.
he's like, besides the one time in episode 2 where he talks about wanting to go skinny dipping with them, besides that, he has a line where he's like, because they wanted to test out their powers, and Lewis comes because he was fishing, and he's like, well, I guess I'll join you for a swim. And they go, we're naked, Lewis, like because they're in mermaid form. And he's like, just a tiny dip then. And they're like, they're like, goodbye, Lewis. And he's like, the offer was there. And it's like, what?
Like, okay, that was out of left field.
It was out of left field. Cause I remember,
Yeah.
cause, so I rewatched H2O a lot as a kid, like the first season. And then I found out the second and third season were a thing, like maybe when I was like 10. So when COVID initial lockdown happened, I just kept rewatching it. And I remember watching that and being like, how did I not catch that as a kid?
Oh yeah. It was
Yeah.
like, yeah. I've done that. I did that during COVID too, where I just rewatch a bunch of stuff that I used to watch and be like, okay, well, that doesn't really.
That doesn't hold up well.
No, it does not.
The other thing with this episode, so Ricky finds out the money is fake from using her powers to dry money. So Ricky's powers is to like heat up water or get like stuff out of, basically to dry up stuff. So someone spilled water on the cash. She like did it, and then she found out the money was counterfeit. And then also at the end, the boat explodes at the end. And there's a shot of them like jumping off into the water.
Yes, is it slow mo?
Yes.
Has to be.
Yeah. I'll send you a clip. I'll be like, because all the episodes of H2O are on YouTube, like fully.
I did know that. I did know that. I wish that it was with that way with Pretty Little Liars.
Yeah. Well, because like
it's on Max, I think. I think Pretty Little Liars is
on
Max.
Yeah, that makes sense because of the sequel series is on. Well, not sequel series. There's like 3 different sequel series.
Maybe. Oh, does Max own like Freeform? Because it aired on ABC Family, which is now Freeform. That's what Pretty Little Liars premiered on.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I just know that they produced the original Sin.
Yeah,
that's
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. Original Sin. Okay.
Next. The girls get invited to Byron's birthday party on his uncle's yacht. Lewis warns the girls about going, but they go anyway. Zane arrives and causes drama between the partygoers before a storm happens. Byron is caught in the storm, and Emma transforms into a mermaid to rescue him, and Byron doesn't see Emma's mermaid form. And then the party ends up on Mako Island.
Oh. Well, this seems like a fun episode if it's real.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Byron doesn't see that Emma's a mermaid, but
like he's knocked out. Like,
oh, okay.
Like I think he hits his head
drowning.
And he's a swimmer too. That's the hilarious part.
Oh man. I'll say it. I want to, much like the pirate one, I want to say it's real because I do want to see that party on Mako Island.
So that's your final answer, correct?
Yeah, I'm gonna lock in real.
Okay. It isn't.
Oh no.
However, remember earlier in the episode when you were like, maybe you took like this plot from another series?
Oh, you did?
I took it from the H2O animated series Mermaid Adventures.
So I can still see the party on Mako Island.
Yes, you can still see it. So H2O Mermaid Adventures was a Netflix production where it's 2 seasons of them just readapting H2O into like a younger kid show. So like teaches them about like the ocean and stuff.
Yeah.
And also they can talk. Well, it's kind of, I don't think specifically in H2O, they like specifically talk to the sea creatures, but in this, like the sea creatures, like you hear their voices. So like
Okay, are they
there
like actively teaching you like
no.
about ocean stuff in
No,
this?
it's like since the sea creatures are there, they can talk about the species of like animal they are. And then Cleo, she doesn't work in a marine park. She works at like an ocean conservatory thing of
Okay.
like learning stuff instead of the marine park. But the sea creatures in the series talk to them, and one of them is a hermit crab named Bernie who has a toy car as his shell
I
that they
love
gave him.
that.
Yeah.
I
Uh,
love that.
it's and also
What
this.
is I just got deja vu of a kid's book about this crab and he can't find a shell that fits. What is that called?
I don't
Oh my
know.
gosh. That gave me like severe deja vu. Like to like a place to like where I remember sitting like in like an elementary school like gym and a teacher reading this to
You
us.
just flash.
What is it? Oh my
I don't know,
gosh.
Olivia.
Well, anybody out there who knows what book I'm talking about,
This
please
book.
let me know because there's so much stuff like that where I feel like I could do a whole podcast episode. It's like, here's me vaguely describing something that I remember and don't know the name
And then
to.
trying to
Somebody let me know.
pinpoint it.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. We'll move on to the next one because the next thing in there was just me ranting about how it's very out of character for Emma to do this type of stuff in the episode because she's
Okay.
the responsible one. Anyway. Oh god, this is a long
Long
one.
one.
Oh my god, this Lewis shows Emma, Ricky, and Cleo a book about the mermaid mythology. Emma and Ricky aren't interested, but Cleo finds a potion that can grant wishes. Cleo and Lewis search the ingredients for the spell. At the cafe, the girls try out the potion and it doesn't work. Cleo takes some of the formula home with her in case, and as Cleo, Emma, and Lewis leave, Ricky heats the formula with her power. While Cleo takes a bath as a mermaid, she puts on some of the potion on. Her sister wishes for a shower and it works, but not in the way she wants. Cleo tells Lewis that for the wish to come true, the girls must be in their mermaid form. Lewis receives a phone call from Emma and leaves. Lewis and Emma find the potion has expanded, infecting parts of the cafe. Meanwhile, Cleo tells her dad to wish for something while she's in the bath. Back at the cafe, the formula starts to cover the cafe. Lewis calls Cleo to get to the cafe right away. Lewis splashes Cleo with water from the bottle, but as she turns into a mermaid, she drops the formula. Lewis tries to get it. Finally, Lewis puts it on Cleo's face and everything goes back to normal in the
I think
cafe.
this is real.
This is real?
I think this is real because I have a memory of them showing ads uh for Teen Nick, or maybe it was just like in the clips for like during the um title,
Yeah.
whatever it's called, of Cleo in the bath.
Yeah, she's in the bath a lot. That
Okay.
sounds weird,
She's in
but
the bath a
but
lot.
she is like the only one I feel like we see like relax in the bath. We see Emma do it in like episode 2 of season 1, but that's it. But Cleo's in the bath a lot. It's like her thing.
Okay. I'll say yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna lock in yes.
Awesome. Because it is true. It is a real episode. Season
Nice.
2, episode 5, Hocus Pocus. So the other subplot of this episode, because so much is happening in this episode that I was like, this plot, this storyline is so long. So I just need to focus on the potion. So the cafe is they're going like their prices are essentially their sales are going down because a rival cafe opened. So and Emma currently works at the cafe, so her boss is like, what should we do? And she's like, oh, we should film a commercial. And he's like, okay, you're going to be in it. So the reason why there's so much like time stuff with this episode is that they're trying to film the commercial, but all this green gook has taken over the cafe, so they have to solve it. And then also the driving force of this episode is so in the beginning of season 2, it's revealed that Cleo's mom and dad are divorced. So the mom is completely like written out of the show and it's just the dad, her sister, and her. So she essentially is just wishing things could go back to normal with her parents. And that's like what she wants her dad to wish for. Instead, he wishes for like a fishing gear. She's like, wish for whatever, like what you want best, and he just gets a new fishing gear that he really
That's
wants.
funny.
And then she's like, well, what about mom? And he's like, well, not because like that whole like, well, we're not together, but I still like love you and Kim, who's her sister. So like that kind of like plot line. So
Okay, got it. This feels like a heavy plot compared
it's
to the other ones that
oh my
were
god, so much
real.
is happening. I even had to cut out like Charlotte, who's a character in season 2 that for some reason everyone hates, but I think her reasons are valid for disliking characters. But like she's also in it, and she gets jealous of Lewis and Cleo. It's a whole thing.
There's a subplot to this?
Exactly.
That's crazy. It feels
Mhm.
like so much was stuffed in, but it felt real because it feels like this could have been solved in other ways that were much more simple. But
Exactly.
TV show logic, they never.
Exactly. Okay, so the next one is Lewis plans a surprise party for Cleo's birthday without telling her. He acts like he has forgotten it's her birthday, which makes her sad. To cheer Cleo up, Bella lets her try on her crystal necklace. So, for context, I don't know if you remember this, but each of the girls have like a locket necklace in the first 2 seasons. But in the 3rd season, Bella has a crystal. Example here, Waka. And it's like from her moon pool. It's like from where she transformed into a mermaid that has
Okay.
like moon powers. So lets her try on her crystal necklace. When Bella is out of the room, Cleo accidentally activates the necklace and shrinks herself down and
Oh
falls
my
into a fishbowl.
This
that-
is like that episode of SpongeBob where SpongeBob takes Mermaid Man's belt and shrinks Squidward. And then Patrick is like a Squidward action figure, and then he's like he's playing with him, and then he's like, and here comes the giant fist. Okay, sorry.
No, that's great. That's a great comparison. This is how we connect SpongeBob and H2O together.
Yes. Oh my gosh, a crossover?
That would have been so good. There's the fan fiction crossovers of H2O are insane. I've read like when I was a kid, I read dozens of Percy Jackson ones. Like so
That's
much.
a good one though.
Yeah.
Where's the SpongeBob H2O?
Yeah, everyone wears insane. So she falls into a fishbowl that Lewis intends to give her as a gift. Ricky and Bella take the fishbowl to the party. Lewis regrets the surprise party, realizing Cleo might have believed he forgot. As Bella tries to comfort him, he tells her how special Cleo is to him. Cleo manages to finally get his attention, and Bella and Ricky restore her to her normal size, and she expresses her gratitude to Lewis, and they kiss.
This is why are there so many shrinking episodes and things?
I don't know.
SpongeBob Gravity Falls had a shrinking episode.
Yeah. I don't know.
And then it always, I'm sure Wizards of Waverly Place did.
Oh, no, they did. They did. So, because Harper moves in to Alex's basement.
Yeah, I remember when that happened.
Yeah. I'm sure there was more, but that's the only one I remember.
Yeah, that's so weird. Shrinking episodes are like Lab Rats probably had a shrinking episode.
I'm sure they did.
I loved Lab Rats.
I loved Lab Rats too. Me and my roommate in college, they were obsessed with Lab Rats, and then like there was a 5-hour YouTube video that came out about it, and we just stayed up watching it until like 2 a.m.
So Lab Rats is so good.
Yeah.
Like it genuinely is just so good. I had such a crush on Chase.
Me too.
Like big crush.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's say real.
This is real?
Yeah.
That's your final answer?
Yeah, because there's shrinking episodes and other things.
So sadly, it is not real for
no.
H2O, Just Add Water. However, it is real for the spin-off show Mako Mermaids that is also called Mako Island of Secrets.
Okay.
Okay. And surprisingly, this episode shares the same name as an episode in the first season of H2O.
Oh.
But that episode does not involve shrinking. It involves Cleo hating her birthday.
Oh, still
Still
birthday though.
Yeah, there's literally so many parties in these shows. They just don't know what kids do. Yeah, but
all right.
yeah.
Well, moving on.
Moving on. Okay. Cleo's cousin, Angela, comes to Sorry, when I read Angela, my first thought went to Angela from Smash.
Oh yeah, every time I read it, yeah.
Comes to visit because her parents are going through a rough times. Cleo's parents ask their daughters to be in agreement at this time. Angela seems nice, but it is only for appearances. Cleo and Louis take them to the water park. Angela and Cleo's sister is lost. Cleo notifies the police and returns home. She meets Kim, who's her sister, there, and there's a bird in their bathroom. Ricky, Louis, and Emma come to help. Cleo brings the pelican back to the park, but Cleo's boss notices it and accuses her of having taken it. However, it turns out that he is not from the park, the pelican. Meanwhile, Emma and Ricky find Angela, and it ends up like she stole the pelican from a different park. It's such a weird episode.
Oh.
So weird.
Okay. Okay. This is also reminding me of when in Pretty Little Liars. This isn't a plotline that I would pick if we had to do this, but when Hannah's dad remarries and now she has like a stepsister and she's like evil. Like she's literally evil.
The worst.
Like she's the worst. And that's what that reminded me of. Yeah, sure. Why not?
Why not?
Okay, yeah. Yes, because Pelican, I think that like a goofy animal episode where like an animal is lost or something is always Drake and Josh with that dog and they were like locked in the bathroom. Remember that? Yeah, yes.
And you are right. It is an episode. There's the pelican.
Look at that pelican. Wow. Interesting. Is that a puppet?
No, it's a real one.
Really? That looks like a puppet. That's interesting.
Yeah, they like use a lot of animals in H2O. There's an episode where Ricky and Emma accidentally let a dolphin loose from the marine park into the ocean, and then they try Louis like took Cleo's job because Cleo got fired and Louis needed a job. So Louis took the job and they were messing with him, and then the dolphin got loose, and then everyone low-key blamed Louis and was like, you let the dolphin loose on purpose because here's footage of you crouching down talking to someone. And he's like, obviously I can't say that it's Ricky and Emma. So there's a lot of lost animal episodes in H2O.
Yeah, that's like a trope in kids stuff.
Man, it's strange.
Yeah, I have pelican stories. So my family usually every year goes to California just for like a summer vacation, and because my dad likes the beach and my mom and sister and I like to do other things, but if we're close enough to the beach then he'll just go sit on the beach and then we'll go do all the other stuff. And sometimes we like to go on like whatever pier is closest, and I like to watch the pelicans sit on the pier and like just straight they are like little pricks. They'll sit and they'll just knock over like fishing poles that are sitting there.
Dang.
And it's so funny. They're scary though because they're huge.
They are.
All right. Yeah, they're giant.
They're giant.
And it scares me. I don't like you know what's weird? Like big animals like that scare me. If it's like an insect or something, if they're small, they scare me.
No, that makes sense.
Snakes too.
Oh,
Smaller. If they're small, then they'll scare me because I can't see where they're at.
yeah, that's the thing that scares me about snakes.
Yeah, and spiders too, little
Ugh.
spiders because I know they're faster. And I'm like,
Yes.
I don't want to see it. I don't
No.
want to see it.
But
Well, I
then
do
once
want to
you
see it. I want to keep my eyes on it.
exactly, once you see it, you have to keep your eyes on it because then you don't know where else it's gonna go.
Oh my gosh, it scares me to death. It scares me to death because I'm always like, well, I can't go to sleep now.
You
That thing
gotta.
is in here, and I have to
Mm-mm.
wait till it comes down low enough for me to get
Yeah, exactly.
it. Okay.
Okay, the next 9th episode. While the world celebrates the spectacular of a rare comet, Cleo, Ricky, and Bella know it's destined to destroy the Earth and hope to stop it.
How?
Bella
Are they Wanda? Are they Wanda Maximoff? Like, jeez.
Bella locates an ancient tale from when the comet last passed near the pool where she became a mermaid, which was in Ireland. The girls realize the water tentacles that have been following them all season could help. So the girls combine their powers to create their own Tower of Light and risk everything.
This feels true, and it feels like the finale.
Yeah. I'm just gonna. I don't. It's yeah. We'll just. Yeah, it's real. It's the season 3 finale.
Yes, I was like, this feels. They always do this.
Yeah, and it's
where it's like some crazy like world altering thing after they were silly all season.
Yeah, it's like
so funny.
And also think about this. Well, there's an the episode 2 episodes before this is the pirate episode.
Yeah. Yeah, I told you. They're always like when it's always silly until it's like, okay, and the world's about to be destroyed.
Yeah. So other parts in this episode is Sophie, Will's sister, Zane, and Ryan, who was an attempted Cleo love interest due to Lewis's actor leaving the show, damage the moon pools like crystals so that they can be rich and sell them. But they need those crystals to make the light tower or whatever. Okay, so a lot of criticism of season 3 is specifically directed towards Zane because he starts out as kind of like an antagonist bully and then he kind of grows as a character and becomes Ricky's love interest.
Mm-hmm.
So in season 3, I was explaining this to someone recently. Ricky's still in high school. He, I think, graduated. They open up a cafe together. So they take the Juice Net Cafe, which was the original, and they make Ricky's Cafe. So this high schooler and her boyfriend are running this cafe, and it's running out of business, and it's doing really bad. And then while that's happening, Sophie, Will's sister, kisses Zane, and essentially he cheats on Ricky. It's a whole thing. So what ends up happening is that Ricky and Zane break up, but they remain friends at the end of the series.
Okay. Wait, this happened in this episode or the breakup? Or
the breakup happened.
I was like insane thing to have in a finale.
No. It's like over.
This is happening.
Yeah, and then also my favorite part of this episode is so when I said that there's a band like throughout the show, they introduce in season 3 that Bella and Lewis are in a band together. They like he plays drums and she sings. So the end of the show ends with her singing the theme song "No Ordinary Girl."
Yes. They do that in shows all the time. One person can sing and all of a sudden they're singing every single episode.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh, okay. I guess they try to do that with Lucy Hale and Pretty Little Liars. They had her sing a few times. Yeah.
Oh my god! Wait,
in Vampire Diaries, I'm pretty sure they had somebody saying, I don't remember her name, but she had like a country music like she was trying to become a country music star off of the show, and so then they had her sing stuff in the show. I love when they do that because it's always awful.
Yeah. Well, I will say awful. I did watch the Lucy Hale Cinderella story where she does sing, and I will say some of those songs are bops.
I'm not saying the singers are awful. I'm just saying it's awful to have to sit through them singing in the middle of an episode.
No, that makes a lot of sense.
I'm like, okay, cool. Totally just stop the episode for a full song, I guess. It's always weird.
No, yeah. Well, it's also weird. It would be also weird if Lucy Hale started singing the Pretty Little Liars theme.
Oh yeah. She was like, got a secret.
Well, that's what happened with H2O. The first 2 seasons had the same singer, and then the girl who plays Bella sings the theme song in season 3.
Supernatural did this a few times. Did it a few times.
Just a little bit, you know.
What is the one that they did? They did the musical episode.
Yeah.
I like that episode.
I do like that musical episode.
And then at the very end, I'm pretty sure they play the theme song like 3 different times in the finale. And I'm like, oh, we're doing this again. Okay.
Yeah. No wonder my parents freaking hated me every time I turned on Carry On My Wayward Son. They were like, shut up.
All right.
Okay. Final.
Next. Oh, this is the last one.
This is the last one.
Okay.
I did 10. So a rainy day traps the girls at Emma's house. One by one, the girls pretend to be sick so that they won't turn into mermaids in the downpour of the rain.
That would suck.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that would suck to be a mermaid and it's raining.
Yeah,
like,
and also
what do you do?
And also in Australia too, like they probably have. I mean, I don't know much about Australia, but crazy storms probably or something.
I don't know. I always think about Australia having pretty like warm, not temperamental. I don't know. Maybe. We both don't know anything about Australia.
And the things I know about Australia are from this show, so probably not true.
Probably not.
So they use their magic to mimic symptoms to such a convincing degree that Emma's mom calls the doctor and the girls have to try to fool her too. But the doctor believes because of their symptoms, they have a rare tropical disease that can be contagious.
God, I hope this is real.
So then the sun comes out and the girls tell everyone they're feeling better, but the doctor wants to be extra careful. So she sends in the emergency infectious diseases team to take them away. Luckily, the blood results come back negative and says the girls are fine.
I hope this is real. This reminds me of that episode of what's it called? R.L. Stein's The Haunting Hour.
Oh, The Haunting Hour.
There's this episode where this kid is like sick from school, but he has a cold. And then his mom leaves to go like run errands. So he's home alone and there is a creature in his house. And he's like, oh, I'm hallucinating because I'm really sick. And then all of a sudden his house gets quarantined and he's like, wait a minute, I'm not that sick though. And then but the creature in the house is what they're quarantining. And then the news people on the TV like are talking directly to him through like hallucination. And they're like, you have to stay in your room. And like all this stuff. It's a crazy episode. I love that episode so much. And nobody ever talks about this episode.
That's insane. That's such a great episode.
It's awesome.
That sounds awesome.
I hope that this is real. I think it's real. I'm gonna say real.
Mm-hmm. It's real.
Yes.
Yes. Under the Weather, season 1, episode 17. Yes. So what ends up happening is that Emma's brother Elliot ends up because they test all the families just to make sure that they're not sick.
Yeah.
He ends up testing for the measles, and Kim, Cleo's sister, got it from him because they shared a drink of water because she didn't think that they were sick. So she gets the measles.
Do measles only get transferred through like saliva? Or I thought like you can't be around a person with measles.
I don't know. At least
because remember like the measles, there was like a measles outbreak in like 2013 at like Disney.
I don't remember.
Because like one kid had the measles and like a bunch of people got it. And I'm like, I don't know.
It says that it's highly contagious viral disease that infects the respiratory tract and causes transmission, spreads through air when an infected person breathes, coughs, or sneezes. It can also be direct contact with an infected person's mouth or nasal.
Yeah.
So I don't know if H2O is like, he's beginning to have the measles. and it's not as
Maybe
contagious.
measles is crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember there was like an outbreak of measles and like it started at like Disneyland. Like one kid got the measles and then or went to Disney with the measles and then a bunch of people
Of course.
had them got the measles after. I don't remember if it was Disney or not, so don't take my word on it. But it
No.
was like an
I
amusement
can
park,
believe
I'm pretty
something
sure.
happened.
I'm pretty sure it was an amusement park.
Yeah.
Cool. I think I only got 3 wrong.
Yeah, and I think those were the ones that were like just based off like
Yeah.
other shows. So
Yeah,
like
yeah,
if
yeah.
anything, you kind of technically got them all right, just they're not fully that one
I
show.
did it. Yeah, I only got
Woo.
3 right or 3 wrong. 3 right. That would suck. Um yeah, my knowledge was basically like this happened on another show for this
Hey,
age
you know
group.
what? It worked. It worked in your favor.
It did work in my favor. I this is crazy. Some of these are crazy.
No, I wanted to put the crazy ones in so then you would believe the other crazy ones. So,
Yeah, when I will do a Pretty Little Liars one. For sure, because there are insane things that happen. Now that I think about it, like a lot of shows that I've watched that maybe you haven't watched have a lot of crazy stuff. Because you didn't watch The Walking Dead, did you?
I only watched the first 3 episodes of The Walking Dead.
Oh, I could for sure put them together for that. Put something together for that. I've been wanting to do something Walking Dead because I don't know. It's just it's so crazy, but it was also like so big,
Yeah,
like
I remember it being
in
really
my
big.
life, like to the point to like characters would die, and I would go to school the next day, and people would be like, "Are you okay?" Like a family member died or something. So that was great. That was so
Yay,
fun.
I'm glad you had fun.
It's the future again. So geek out in the comments. Wasn't that a fun game? Wow. If you've watched H2O, what are your favorite episodes? Yeah, so geek out in the comments over on our socials. Those links will be in the description. If you prefer to listen to the show on another platform, then there are links to alternative platforms in the description as well. Also, follow Zive Media on all social platforms for more great content. We will catch you back in the Hive next week. But until then, take care of yourselves. We've been Hives and Lows.